Your college news station starts right now.
Good evening, Lutz, and welcome to News at 9. I'm Javier Dudley.
And I'm Natalie DeFord. Here's a look at our top stories.
Apple releases a new payment app for iPhones.
The first experimental vaccine for Ebola is being tested in Switzerland.
And shoppers get a furry surprise in an Oregon supermarket.
All that and more next on News at 9.
American Jeffrey Fowle has been released by North Korea and is on his way home, according to the State Department. Fowle was arrested in May for leaving a Bible in his hotel room. North Korean officials said Fowle was detained because he violated the law by acting contrary to the purpose of tourism. Independent religious activities are forbidden by North Korea's totalitarian regime because they are seen as potential threats to its authority. Two other Americans, Kenneth Bae and Matthew Todd Miller, are still being held in North Korea. A senior State Department official says the U.S. is still working to secure their release.
Apple Pay is here. Beginning as of last Monday, you can use your iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus to buy items at more than 220,000 stores or inside apps. Apple is partnering with most major banks and the 3 major credit card networks, plus retailers like McDonald's, Macy's, and Whole Foods. To use the payment system, hold down the Touch ID fingerprint sensor and point the phone at the Apple Pay device at a retail store register. But don't ditch your wallet just yet. Not all stores have the machines needed to read the phone. For now, Apple Pay's full system is only on the iPhone 6 models. Those with older iPhones and iPads can still use Apple Pay to shop online.
This baby bear must have been born to shop for the bare essentials.
Yeah,
Sunday,
I'll back
she
up
wandered
if he
into
gets
an
too
Oregon
close.
store surprising shoppers. The cub is only about a month old and appears to be pretty people-friendly. Look how close she's getting to shoppers. The cuddly cub wandered from aisle to aisle until police eventually trapped her in a shopping basket. Yep, that's how small she is. The bear is only about 13 pounds, which vets say is a little thin. Because of her shopping adventure, she will be rehabbed and cared for until being released back into the wild next year.
The first shipment of an experimental vaccine against the Ebola virus has arrived at the World Health Organization in Geneva, Switzerland. The vaccine was donated by the Government of Canada, which is one of the 2 front-runners in the race to develop a viable vaccine against the disease. The British company GlaxoSmithKline developed the other experimental vaccine. The 250 vials from Canada that arrived last night are being stored at the Geneva University Hospital. 800 vials will be shipped to Geneva in all. 250 volunteers are taking part in the World Health Organization clinical trials. Half of the volunteers will be tested in November in Switzerland. Trials are currently underway in the US, Oxford, and Mali. It's expected the vaccines will be used in West Africa in early January.
Well, it happened again. A person made it over the White House fence again. Good news is authorities say the person barely made it over before being taken down by a canine and quickly detained by Secret Service agents Wednesday. This is the second White House fence jumper in just a few months. In mid-September, Omar Gonzalez made it over the White House fence through the front door and into the East Room before being tackled by Secret Service members. On Tuesday, Gonzalez was found not competent to stand trial.
Stay tuned. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Up next is Jenny Boots with On the Agenda.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Hello, Lutz, and welcome back to The Agenda. I'm Jenny Boots. And as you can see, we're having a very special pajama-themed episode tonight in celebration of tomorrow's mid-semester break. Lutz, I'll confess something. This week I was a little stuck with trying to find things to talk about. I considered talking about Renee Zellweger's new face, Oscar de la Renta's death, or any of the 20 things 20-somethings should know how to be 20-somethings 20-something times that pop up on my Facebook feed all the time. Instead, I turn to what every journalist does when they can't think of anything entertaining to say: American politics. Warning, when you click on the Huffington Post politics page, you might be blinded by just how many bald heads there are. Apparently, all the newsworthy politicians this week were very, very bald. So, this spurred a thought. How many politicians, American politicians, are bald? And I took it upon myself to count. And the grand total is this: 54. 54 of the 534 members of Congress are bald. And I am talking like an egg, a baby's bottom, whatever you prefer, they are bald. And for those of you who have a sharp math mind, that comes to around roughly 10%. Although, please note, this count does not include those balding or wearing a toupee. So, Lutz, my point is this. My procrastination got so bad this week that I actually combed through all the photos of the members of the Senate and the House to count how many of them did not have hair. Did I have more important things to do? Yes. Did I have time for this? Definitely not. And I wasn't the only one riding the procrastination train this week. Midterms brought a lot of stress for students. Some found that they really needed to clean their dorm room, call their parents, bake, I don't know, do anything but studying, writing, learning, reading. The chemistry department, however, did handle their midterm stress pretty much the only way you would expect a group of crazy mad scientists to do so, by literally blowing things up. They celebrated Mole Day Eve yesterday, Wednesday, and for those of you who don't know, a mole is a basic unit of measurement in chemistry. It's 6.2 something, 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 something. And to celebrate Moleween, the chemists just blew things up. It was great. As tough a week as it was, except for maybe those crazy chemists, tomorrow students will get to sleep in, lounge around, gorge on television, movies, and maybe popcorn. And so tonight, our very special guest is Michael D'Ambry. He is the Morning Mast Arts and Entertainment television and movie review and writer. Michael, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Jenny.
Yes, welcome. All right, so let's be honest. Tomorrow, no one is getting out of bed. I, for one, am definitely not. So my favorite thing to do is sit, get kind of gross, have some tea, have some popcorn, and just 5 hours, one show, let's get it done.
You're an American with a heart and a soul.
Yes, I am.
You have to.
Yes, I am.
It's necessary.
So with your expertise as being the movie and television critic for The Morning Mast, what are your 5 top picks for nothing but Netflix?
Perfect question. My first pick is The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead goes great with Halloween themes, especially if you love zombies, you love action, you love some blood and guts all around. I mean, who doesn't, right? It's great. It's a great show. It's really entertaining.
Okay.
I mean, this would be a great time to catch up on the past seasons right now before a new episode airs this Sunday. So,
all right. Okay.
Yeah, that's my first show.
All right, what's your
second?
My
second show is Parks and Rec.
Yes!
It's a great show. One of my favorites of all time. I've been missing this show so much because it does not start until January this year, which is really upsetting for me. I miss Leslie and Ron.
Do you know something funny? I very much identify with Ron Swanson. I think that if I were to pick a spirit animal, it would be Ron Swanson, or maybe Ron Swanson's mustache. But in either case, I really love bacon and not talking to people in complete sentences.
Once again, you're an American.
Yes, I am.
And as a history major, I identify with Leslie Knope because she has a passion for America. She loves parks, she loves outdoors. She's a great human being. So she's like my spirit animal. So I like that we can be Leslie and Ron together.
We can be Leslie and Ron.
That's great. They're great together.
Okay. All right, tell me your third show.
My third show, and warning right now, skip the finale.
All right.
All
right, do you hear that, Lutz? Skip the finale.
The entire series is now on Netflix, and it's How I Met Your Mother. Oh. A personal favorite of mine.
And mine.
It's great. We followed Ted Mosby on his adventure to find love and happiness and just, get his stuff together, right? Round out his life. And
what college student doesn't identify with that?
I know, and the last season focuses on Barney and Robin's wedding, their wedding weekend. And throughout it, we're about to find out Ted's about to meet his wife. Mm-hmm. And you don't watch the last episode.
Okay.
But this series
All right.
is one of the funniest, one of the most heartwarming shows
Yes.
I think of all time.
All right. It's a favorite of mine as well. Okay, give us your fourth pick for this week.
My fourth pick actually comes from one of my hot fall shows that was in the Mass a few weeks ago.
Okay.
It's Once Upon a Time. All the past seasons are now on Netflix, and you could watch them and catch up. It's really
Okay.
fun. It's,
Yeah.
if you like fantasy, if you like adventure, if you like action.
I
it's
don't
really
really
cool.
know what Once Upon a Time is about. I've seen it, and I've seen like the Pretty Blonde and the Handsome Prince, and that's about it.
And Captain Hook.
Captain
and
Hook, yeah.
There's it's about fairy tales, kind of taken off of old fairy
Okay,
tales.
okay.
They've thrown some Disney twists in it. They have Frozen in there
okay.
now.
Oh,
It's really
perfect.
great. It's
Okay.
great. It's charming. It's cute. I mean, when I first saw it, I was thinking I'm not gonna like this show. It's not gonna be good. But it ended up being amazing, and I really enjoyed watching it, and I'm addicted now. So.
All right.
And my final show
Okay.
that I'm recommending
Drum
is
roll, please.
Orange is the New Black.
Of course.
There's only been 2 seasons of this show, and it's a Netflix original series, so
Right.
you have to watch it on Netflix.
Right.
But it's amazing. It's funny. It's charming. There's a lot of beautiful women on it. I mean, it makes me want to go to jail, honestly.
Right, women that are like committed felons.
Yeah, for real.
Sure.
And I mean, honestly, I think that I want to see some girls from Harstad dressing up
Holla
as.
at you, Harstad.
I
That's
want
right.
They need to be getting together and dressing up
Yes,
as the
all
Orange is
right,
the New Black
okay,
cast.
Okay.
And it'd be great. It'd be hilarious. I mean, personally, I self-identify with Crazy Eyes. I
You
feel
do
like
have crazy eyes,
I feel like
Michael.
she is a strong woman, and
Right.
although I'm a man, I mean
You have the soul of a
I have the
strong-
soul of her, and she's so misunderstood. The show brings darkness with comedy, with romance.
yes.
It's captivating, and you watch one episode and you're like, should I be watching this? What am I watching exactly? And you just are entranced
Yes.
by it. And honestly, I think that Orange is coming back in style now because of this show.
Yes, it is.
Orange really
Yes,
is the new
it
black.
Did I tell you this? So it was maybe last year when the show was really popular and gaining a lot of media attention, and it was a prison in the Midwest. I want to say Kansas because weird things happen in Kansas, but because of all the hype from Orange is the New Black, they changed their prisoners' orange jumpsuits, which had become kind of in vogue and in style, to the old black and white, the black and white stripes.
I mean that makes no sense.
I know, I know.
I mean,
but I
it's
promise
great.
it happened.
I know
couldn't
that's so
believe it, yeah.
weird, but it's just like they'd be inspired to break out of prison or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, Michael, thank you very much for coming on and talking with us tonight about all the shows that you can stay in bed and watch tomorrow. Nothing but Netflix, am I right?
Amen, amen.
And Lutz, who are watching tonight, please be sure to check out Michael's. You had several articles in this Mass.
Yeah, in this week's issue coming out
Yeah.
tomorrow morning, I
Yeah.
have my review of the movie Gone Girl, which is an incredible movie.
yeah.
I hope you all read
And
it.
book, yeah.
And great book too, yeah. I even wrote about that in my review. And then I also have an opinion piece about depression in the paper this week. So I hope everybody reads that and takes it into consideration.
Awesome. And Lucy, you can find Michael's previous work on massmedia.plu.edu. And Michael, thanks again, especially
No
for dressing
problem.
up.
I know. Go
Pajama
Mariners.
themes. How
Yeah.
great is this? All right. Well, Lutz, before I send you over to Sports with Sam, I'd like to share with you my yak of the week. Those space chairs in admin are like a crazy girlfriend. Looks cool at first, but then you can't move around to be with your friends and doesn't give you any room to breathe. I don't think I've heard a more accurate description. Lutz, thanks for joining me tonight on this week's episode of Agenda, and stay tuned for Sports with Sam after this commercial break.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To
Not look the other way.
It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us, all of us.
To stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Hi, Lutz, and welcome to our sports segment. We had a busy weekend, and we're looking for another busy week coming up. Let's start with football. Our Emails took on Pacific University Boxers on Saturday and lost to them for the first time since 1972. The score was 31-28, but the team is looking to take on Willamette this weekend at Sparks Stadium. Kickoff will be at 1. On to soccer. Whitman and Whitworth came over to PLU this weekend. Men's soccer beat Whitman on Saturday 2-0 and lost to Whitworth on Sunday with a fantastic 4-3 loss. The Lutes were down 1-4 and made 2 goals in the last 20 minutes, but could not manage to get that third goal to push the game to overtime. The men's game against Whitworth was not only physical, but by the end of the game, 2 PLU coaches had been carded, and the ref was asked not to return by every Lute in attendance. The men have 2 games this weekend. They play Linfield and Willamette. Sunday will be the men's soccer team's senior day, honoring 4 seniors on the team. Women's soccer lost to Whitman on Saturday 2-0. The team's senior day was Sunday when they took on they lost to Whitman, and they're taking on Whitworth on Sunday for the senior day. They beat Whitworth 2-0 and honored their seniors Hannah Bush and Blake Warner. The Lutes managed to get a win against Whitworth, and they took them down, and they're still on top of the Northwest Conference rankings, even with the loss on Saturday on their record. The ladies will head to Oregon this weekend to face off against George Fox and Lewis and Clark. Last but not least, PLU volleyball had a great season so far. They're still on top of the Northwest Conference rankings. On Friday, the Lutes got taken down by the Whitworth Pirates. The score was 21-25, 20-25, 21-25. On Saturday, the Lutes battled it out in 5 sets against Whitman and brought home a win. The scores were 22-25, 25-16, 21-25, 25-19, and 15-6. That is hard enough to read. I can't even imagine playing that game. The Lutes will host George Fox in Linfield this weekend. So that's all we have for you tonight. Join me and the rest of the News at 9 cast next week. For all of us here in the studio, good night.